It is Friday. It is day 3 of the Room Service Diaries here on the Morning Combat channel. I'm Luke Thomas. That's Brian Campbell. Neither of our rooms have been cleaned in 4 days.
You shit your pants. It seriously smells.
That one I don't know. That's you. That's he who smelt it dealt it.
He who
scenario.
denied it supplied it. All right.
I've actually never heard that one. That's a good one. I never heard
What does
that
smell
one.
like? You ever get up close in the deli line for too long? When
Oh,
it's just
dude.
it's just-
And then you're like, is the meat bad or is the pre-diabetic gas station attendant in front of me having a bad day?
well, we still have jobs, which is good, Luke. We've done a
So far.
lot of work this week. What a week! This is a good week. It's a good week. Right?
Today was long.
Today was a
What time did you get COVID tested this morning?
7 a.m.
That was 7:10. Yeah.
Yeah, I waited in the Dunkin' Donuts line at 6:30, but I never got to the
Where's
front.
the Dunkin' Donuts?
It's on the other side by the valet, by the garage. I never got in it. Anyway, I'm talking about rich people problems here. You made your CBS Sports HQ debut. That was great.
Did two of those. Mhm.
We did MK. We did the damn live stream. We did a little run through for Saturday night's pay-per-view halftime show. But enough about fights and us and our future of our careers.
We got to talk to Steve Farhood and
Hey, how about Steven Espinoza wearing basically an Affliction T-shirt? No one ragged him on that, all right?
Yeah, we're not in a position to make fun of our boss just yet, but I would like to be because he was wearing a shirt that merited it.
He was a bedazzled champion, but I'll shout him out there. I love you, Steven Espinoza.
Where did my focus go? Let's get the focus right on this fucking thing. Let's see. Am I better here?
So
There
just to
we go. Now
recap,
focus.
I'm not staying in this room. This is Luke's room, but we've made the magic in here a few times. So
Yes, so this is day 3. We were going to do one last night, and I made fun of Brian for not doing it. But in retrospect, I thought about it. Today was so long, and even with a good night's sleep, I still had diarrhea, and I was
a
still...
little too much. A little too much.
It was just one of those long days, dude. I was glad that we didn't booze it up.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain because Showtime is the label that pays me, and they pay me well. But because of the quarantine, we have a very limited room service menu. I think we can get takeout at certain restaurants.
What has been
but-
your room service hit?
Yeah, because there's only like 6-7 items
many
on there.
things.
My best combination for my body and the way I feel is the Caesar salad with the barbecue chicken wings mix.
It's not bad. I got I have the Greek salad, no olives, add the chicken, and then some kind of half sandwich.
Yeah.
Usually I get the half of a Reuben.
Okay, everything else I've had has sucked the horn, but thank you, Mohegan Sun. Thank you. All right.
Well, they're nice people. What are you
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
do? Yeah, dude, I got to tell you, I want to talk good stuff.
Happy things
Happy
today?
things.
You're not
We're
not
both-
salty?
I am salty. Well, I'm gonna go after my own audience here.
Wow.
I'm not gonna go after them, but I mean the babies. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But
You realize without them, you're nothing.
100%, I completely get. Dude, we have a relationship where they get to yell at me. I can't yell at them.
Yeah.
It's a one-way
Well, I like this sweatshirt. What's the get the strap? Because that's usually a pro wrestling reference, you know?
Is it?
The title, the strap, you know?
No, this one is this one. Get the strap.
Oh. Is that a thing?
Here's the thing. I saw someone in the comments the other day go, Luke, it's okay to be white. It's true. I have no denial that it's okay to be white. It's just not especially interesting. I think that's the issue.
There are a lot of people who think that your biggest problem is that you deeply regret being white.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who think a lot of stupid things in the world. I see it neither as a hindrance nor a help, just as a state of existence.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You are what you are.
Okay, well today is a positive podcast. Do we want
let's
to
not- hold on, I
add
wanna-
do we want to add anyone to the wall of fame of MMA salt of the earth people? Right now we in our hall of fame. It's Chuck Mindenhall, Brett Okamoto, and John Anik. You
So
wanna
John
add
Anik
anyone?
was pretty receptive.
He got inducted last night, or 2 nights ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Well, there's going to be people behind the scenes that they don't know.
That's fair.
Should we say they're like how we call them, like BD? BD is an MVP.
Yeah, but they're not on the front lines.
They don't
you
get
know?
that.
They're not on the
Yeah.
front lines.
You know
You a
what?
big Helen Yee fan?
She's nice. I've only interacted with her a couple times. Why? Are you being
I was
rude?
trying to add a female to our list. I was trying to be inclusive.
Is she very supportive?
of us? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know that
Then
well.
why would you bring her up?
Because she's stepping up her game lately. Her and the
you
Schmo,
mean
okay?
like who else is shining?
No, who else we like? I didn't know if you know her. I'm trying to be a nice
I do know her.
person
She's
here,
very
okay?
friendly. I do. I
Thank
say
you.
hi to her every
Thank
time
you
we're-
very much, okay? You always think I have bad intentions. Like I got secret jokes
I didn't
coming
understand what
out.
you were saying. Like, is there
Okay.
anyone else we want to thank for what has gone right
Thank
for
you.
us?
This is already a train wreck. Thank you.
Oh, what, the first 2 days were, a fucking 10 out of 10 or something?
Yeah, I think it was performance art.
By the way, you know who is always very, very nice to us? And I do mean this legitimately? Mauro Ranallo.
Mauro Ranallo, I will induct into our Hall of Fame of the people that
Pretty great
because
guy.
you think this industry is full of suckers, snakes, right? Jermel Charlo thinks I'm a snake, right? He knows I'm not a lion.
Serpents.
But I like a lot of people in this game. Okay, I like Canadians, Americans. I like a lot of people in this game. Okay.
All right, very good. Well, he was very sweet to us today, like he always is. And Steve Farhood is the man. There was a bunch of them, so I was pretty happy about that. I got to say, dude, this has been the first week in a long time, and I do mean a long time for me, where I really felt like I leveled up in my career. Don't you feel that way?
I feel that way. I mean, we both have had great success in different ways, but something felt special about this week. I mean, maybe it was. Look, you'd been with CBS for a few weeks, but it was a slow start, and I don't know if they knew you were working yet.
They didn't send me a computer, just a red stapler. Get to the boiler room.
You didn't necessarily get like a welcome press release or email or anything, but this was the week everything began to come
Holy smokes,
together.
dude. Holy smokes. I got to tell you, dude, Showtime made a series of promises to me, and I made them do all this stuff, when I signed a deal with them.
Out of your inner fear of corporations screwing you over.
100%. I was like, you got to do this for me, you got to do that for me, because everything had gone wrong before. I cannot tell you how many times I've worked for companies, big and small, like not just all big, not just all small. And they kind of did half of what they said they were going to do, or much less. Dude, Showtime has done, and CBS is brand new for me, so we'll see how it goes. Obviously, so far so good.
Showtime or CBS has done me great, just so you know.
But so far, like, dude, Showtime has done, I mean, not just everything they said they were going to do, 10 times that. Like, I can't, if we fail, I've said this before, who could you blame except the mirror?
Well, people may think we're, jerking each other off or whatever,
No, dude, it's
patting us
real.
on the back. I've said this before today, and I really mean that. I've been blessed to be a part of, whether it's shows or different projects, that I know in my heart have been critically great, but I also know there were legitimate ceilings and limitations for them to ever become anything. Some of that was, can your own company promote you in a way that gets the eyes on it? Or some of it was, hey, this is really great, but you just don't have the star power. I mean, we've all done things where like, man, this has potential if this could just get out there. You're right. If we fail at this point, it's on us, because CBS and Showtime have just got together, put their heads and wallets together, and basically said, we think these guys, are the shit, so let's find out where they're going.
They're
And,
literally letting us get drunk on camera and then just uploading it with no one's.
I don't know if all of them know this is happening, but so far they're.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they listened to it, they would stop us. But I mean, suffice to say, like, dude, I didn't know this until today. So you guys know, on the Charlo doubleheader pay-per-view, we will go on between the first and second card. I found out today it's going to air on pay-per-view. It will also simulcast for free on YouTube. So you guys can check that out if you want to. But
So I mean, you don't want to tell people, hey, even if you're not planning on buying the card, because we'd love for you to buy the card, but even if you're not planning on buying the card, please,
Right.
you'll get highlights, reactions, reviews, previews from us at halftime, which is
dude, you know how when we leveled up today, I had this moment. I was like, we didn't even need to be there for the rehearsal. We didn't do shit, but we're starting to be in meetings I've never been in before. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
We're starting to have things happen.
They're not inviting us yet to the eyes wide shut high level corporate
No,
parties
we
where
don't
like
go to the
we come
orgies.
pantsless with the we're not with the monocle. We're not there yet. All right.
No, I'm seriously. We had a long sit down today with like major executives going through rundowns and run of shows and like how much they're going to plug Morning Combat on the pay-per-view. Dude, but I've not been in meetings like that. I've been in some pretty big meetings. I've not been in a meeting like that before.
Look at us.
Salute.
Look
By
at
the way,
us, okay?
someone emailed me to shit on you. When you cheers, you have to drink afterwards.
I do. I've been
So
drinking.
so I didn't notice this either. Apparently, someone emailed me and they said you had cheers me. By the way, cheers. And you didn't drink. You know what they say in Latin America? If you cheers and don't drink, and
You'll die.
no, worse, and you don't look the person in the eye, which is so creepy, they say you'll have 7 years of bad sex. So when people toast in
Ow.
so this is a true story. When people toast in Colombia, they go like this.
I guess I've never looked anyone in the eye then, you know what I mean? Wow, all right. This is great, you know the great thing about sex? It stops when you get married. No, we can't get into that.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're trying to get yourself canceled by your wife. We're already going to be canceled by Showtime and CBS. You know what I'm saying?
I love life. I love this job. I love you, Luke Thomas. And
Yeah,
I love
man.
our people. And we've pissed off a few different people
Which we will
with our
continue to
art
do.
form this week. I'm sorry if it has hit you the wrong way, but we're just having fun, you know?
Yeah, there's a couple people we offended along the way, which we certainly did not mean. We're just out here having fun. We are stupid. This is a stupid podcast. It's designed to be stupid.
Yeah.
Because we put effort into the other one. We put homework into the other one.
This is just, the other night, the first night without a show, we did have the same exact conversations while we were drinking. So this is really just us.
Yeah, yeah. All right, can I tell you why I'm bitter at the audience a little
Oh,
bit?
I thought this was going to be a good show, a nice show.
I'll tell you, here's the thing. It's like, I don't know what it is about me that no one seems to understand me. Nobody.
I can't wait to meet your wife because full disclosure, she looks like a lovely lady on Facebook. I can't wait to meet her because her and I might be the only people that know how to handle you.
That's my family. But yes, that is absolutely true. Dude, what do I have to do to get the audience to understand? We're not doing bits exactly. Like, we're not pro wrestling it up on the air, but we're sparring a little bit intentionally to have contrast, a little bit of dramatic effect,
Well, it's
and
like-
a little bit of differentiation. They think I am attacking you. Brian, will you please fucking tell them I am not attacking you. You're like literally my
like a
best friend in the business.
It's just like in the movies when the lady gets kidnapped, she has to call home and be like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm actually fine, but send the money now, please. Let me get out of here.
Will you please fucking tell them what is up?
Well, I mean, what do you people have friends at home? Do you have the high school? When I get together with my high school friends, good God, we say really awful things to each other,
Dude, my friend...
You send nude videos to your lawyer
I
friends.
know. My friends send me pictures of gorillas being like, wow, I didn't know you escaped from the fucking zoo and shit like that. Like, I don't...
Oh, Dean Thomas today sent you to hell. It was beautiful on Twitter. Thank you,
Dean Thomas fucking buried me. And you know what I did? I took it and smiled. Here's what happened. So basically, during today's broadcast, so we did how much? What did we have there?
That's a 40, bro.
Did you guys call Bush Beast?
No, Beast is Milwaukee's Beast Ice.
That's right. You're right.
Beast
Sorry.
Ice, yeah.
You're absolutely right. You're right.
Milwaukee's Best. Excuse me.
Okay. So today we did an MK show today, an extra. Which, by the way, we got to stop calling them that. They just have to be like numbered from now on. But neither here nor there. And during that, you made a offhanded joke saying, "Hey, we should do picks." I want you to understand why he said that.
Well, look,
Hold on.
This is fueled by reality, right? Reality, I think you're being a bitch for not doing pigs on the air. So
100%. BC, true or false? Last week we had an entire meeting about picks and why I don't want to do them and why I don't believe in them. True or false?
true, and I called you a woman to your face.
And
all
did
right?
I complain
Although
about
women make great picks. Shout out to
Yes,
Phoenix
they certainly
Carnivale.
do.
Hey, have you seen Phoenix in some national commercials?
The cream cheese.
Shout out
Cream
to
cheese.
Phoenix, our ex-colleague on the MMA beat.
She's killing it. Did we not have a whole meeting about this? Did I not say, if you want to call me a hoe every time I refuse to do picks, I was okay with it? Never complained one time. I slightly...
Luke, stand up and take a stand, Thomas, sitting down on the picks. Yeah.
The only reason I don't do it is because I
You're
just...
afraid of people judging you.
No, I can do well and get all the accolades in the world. I don't really believe you can do them effectively in MMA. In boxing, I think you can do them effectively a little bit more. Or you can do them effectively in MMA, but only under the condition that you're watching endless amounts of tape. You are suffering under that goddamn thing. Jesus Christ.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
You swallowed it like it was NyQuil.
I mean,
Like you were choking back the green NyQuil.
in the early 2000s, Bush, right? We got Bush, right?
Did I yell at you today? Did I yell at you today?
No, but
Oh my God, you fucking pussies. You fucking little girls. Who talks to you like... You guys act like I fucking smacked your daughter at
I think
school
the
and the
people,
principal had to call and
all
tell
right,
you.
I think the people believe that you don't know how to have fun. Now they don't know you. You're right. Today, I got really excited and the desk almost came off, and you were like, Dad watching me back into the driveway, be like, I told you to put that shit away. You know what I mean?
That's the bit.
That's the joke. Yeah, I get it.
The bit is he's the fucking, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and I'm the fucking hall monitor. That's the bit. That's the fucking bit.
By the way, I love that these people are in your head. Remember when Pedro
just
and Don
drives me-
Zimri was like right here, like they are in your head, brother.
Bro, it's just like these are the people. Here's the thing: the average idiot, I don't care. These are our, what people with the term P1. P1 are people.
Player one?
No, P1 are people that turn on a radio station, and from the beginning of their day to the end of the day, they're listening to that radio station. They call all the shows. They're called P1s. That's the term. I'm talking to our P1s.
Day one-ish, right?
P1s should know. Like, you can disagree with me and you can say handled it, whatever, but the outrageous accusations about how I'm mistreating your very little nice
Okay, that's too much
puppy.
contact. I could have COVID right
Now
now.
you have
because-
now you have AIDS and you deserve AIDS. But
It's not funny.
My
That's
God.
really not funny.
My
Okay.
God. Okay, people, lighten the fuck up. What is the what's the joke from Stripes? You know, Francis is like, any of you, I won't say it, any of you touch my stuff, I kill you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
Sergeant Hulk turns to him and goes, lighten up, Francis.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
you.
yeah, that's-
lighten up, Francis.
Okay, that's
think that's
interesting.
fair. I think that's
funny.
fair.
This is very meta. This is very meta
Oh my
right
God,
here.
it's like, listen, if the average idiot doesn't get you, then the average idiot doesn't get you. I would like the Morning Combat audience to understand we are friends. We get what we're doing. Oh, fuck you. What we're doing for one another, why we try intentionally to not just be we're not trying to be something we're not, but we want to, to the extent possible, emphasize points of contrast so that, you know, you don't get the whole point of not picking somebody just like BC or somebody just like me is so that you get opposites. Somebody has to be X, other person's got to be fucking
Yeah,
Y.
look, opposites attract. I love my wife. She hates me. That's how it works, right?
Join the club, guys. Join the fucking club.
Yeah, right.
No, my wife is very sweet to me. My wife tried to send us a bottle of champagne today to celebrate us, and because of COVID restrictions, the hotel wouldn't let her. So,
My wife, yes, this is nice.
all right. Anyway, let me say this. Thanks to everybody who has watched all 3 days of the diaries. Thanks to everybody who watched the weigh-ins or the last episode of MK that I'm bitching about. Because honestly, here's the reality about that episode, to get back to all the good stuff. I thought that episode, I mean, they made us cut off the boxing talk before we were ready. But the first 30 minutes where we got into all the MMA stuff, I thought that shit rocked. I thought
we came into our own this week, or today, actually, Friday, on a few different things. Definitely that live weigh-in show. This morning's Morning Combat. You know, we did scale back the jokes and we brought the real analysis, and you know, we can do different. There's many shades of gray. There's 50 of them. We can do a lot of those, right?
Yeah, and by the way, I wasn't the only one getting bitter at you. Production was yelling at you about the
That whole bit on Jay was really just pissed off in my ear.
Jay was screaming, "Stop fucking with the desk!"
Yeah.
they were bitter about the desk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one more thing I want to say before this turns into a happy podcast. I don't know if this is a bit too. Maybe I'm getting played. Maybe they're trolling me. Guys, it's a combat show that's boxing and MMA. So fuck off with this, you know.
What are you seeing?
With the, here's the start time of the boxing so you can turn the show off. I never really liked boxing. I'm here for MMA. Look, I get that Luke's got a much larger following than me because according to Luke, I don't show my true colors on social media.
I don't have a larger following because I'm more interesting. I have a larger following because I make an effort.
Yeah, well, all right.
true.
You know, I get that a lot of our audience came over from MMA Beat or come over from the Luke Thomas YouTube channel, and that's MMA heavy. That's fine. But the whole point of the show is combat sports, okay? When Paige Van Zandt gets in there and the bare knuckle bowl, that's part of it too. We're going to be talking about that. So the whole point is there's going to be some boxing here. I'm sorry. Showtime is the label that pays us. They also put on some of the biggest fights in the sport that matters. There's not going to be an MMA episode one day, a boxing show the next day. It's Morning Combat. Live shows 3 days a week. We're covering the biggest topics in combat sports.
No,
okay?
we are. I think we are going to start segmenting in such a way where. So for example, I was talking to Mikey about this. Mikey is our new producer. Well, his old producer, but our new producer for Morning Combat. He's going to start adding timestamps to all the videos. So if people want to get to I want to get to the Conor McGregor topic. I want to get to the boxing topic, whatever. They can skip right to it. And I think that's fair. I think that's totally fine. You know what's true about this, dude? You know how I really got into boxing? I was a casual fan most of my life. You know, I grew up with, Mike Tyson and that kind of shit. And Roy Jones Jr. was big in my college years.
Prince Nassim, that crossed over, right?
Prince Nassim was big too, obviously. But the key for me was, as my autofocus gets fucked up here, hang on, let's fix that. There we go. MMA taught me to be a boxing fan.
Ooh, this is a weird discussion.
No, it's not. This is exactly true. If you are really into MMA for the reasons you're supposed to be, it doesn't mean you will automatically be a boxing fan. That is absolutely not true. But what it did for me was when I began to realize the depths of jiu-jitsu or the depths of wrestling or the depths of kickboxing or boxing, I began to see them quite differently. Now, again, I'm not as into kickboxing as I am into even amateur wrestling, quite
Kickboxing,
candidly.
sport of the future.
It always will be. It's like Brazil. It's the country of the future. But when I began to really sort of dig my heels into boxing, I began to realize that there are many things about it I like because it's like MMA, and then there are many things I like about it because it's not. But what it really got me to do was focus in on the technical mastery.
Yes.
And once I began to really pay attention to it, I was like, "Holy shit, dude! This is way better than I thought it was." Also, but you know what I will say? I want to have this conversation with you because you were around at the same time. When I was coming up in MMA, So let's say '05 to 2010. Pacquiao and Mayweather were so much bigger than anything else. You know, Oscar and Floyd fought, what, 2007, maybe 2007?
Yep.
Like, MMA could put on big shows, but it was clearly the little brother. Let me ask you this, dude. I was on YouTube trending the last few days. You're seeing multiple Adesanya versus Costa videos.
UFC's in a great place. They're promoting the shit out of things. Man.
And this is a very imprecise language that I'm using, and I'm using imprecise intentionally. Has boxing become MMA's little brother?
Yes and no. And I hate to always answer questions down the middle, but the point is this, like, UFC is more popular. It's more and I say this and I mean this. It's more consistently entertaining over the larger course of it. Even though I am a boxing guy in the pure, but UFC they're on a run right now. I mean, yeah, there's in between fight cards that suck, but like especially during this quarantine, they're killing it. They killed it in 2016.
They're absolutely killing it right now.
Last year was a great. Remember 2016, the year of Conor and Rousey. I mean, that year was
went
ridiculous.
Through this. Conor or Rousey fought at least once a quarter.
Oh God, I mean,
imagine that.
But here's the thing, as it relates to my fandom and as it relates, I believe, into the mainstream public's interest, boxing, because it's just such a disorganized, kick in the balls, and it is, and it's always going to be until something gets an organization or one league makes a run and tries to bring the big people. But even though MMA is more consistently better, I'm sorry, you put the biggest MMA fight on the same night against the biggest boxing fight, boxing still wins. And I mean that from getting the casual people's interest. I also mean it from my personal entertainment. And I hear this also from a lot of MMA fans. They admit this. They say, look, MMA is great when there's a giant UFC title, I got to be there. But the 2-3 nights a year when boxing really matters, there's just
like Wilder Fury 2.
Yeah, there's just a different kind of energy, a different kind of expectation. When boxing is at its best, I still don't think MMA can reach that highest of high note. Now, look, MMA...
I don't think that it's a function of the sport. I think it's the function of the structure.
You think it's more of a romantic, nostalgic thing? Or?
Partly, but what I mean is, dude, like a 12-round, 3-minute round main event, it goes for longer, 36 minutes.
Yes.
And some change, obviously. There's just so much more nuance.
It's also very simple. Even though it's not simple when you get to know the sport, it's still...
Go ahead, dude.
The same two guys punching each other in the face like you did in your schoolyard growing up. You know what I mean? It's still that basic sort of, I want to see what happens when those two guys let go. And I think that simplicity still matters. And, there's some people that'll just never understand fully UFC. There's too many moving parts, too many ways to lose a fight. There's a lot of different things. If boxing only hits that 10 out of 10, maybe a couple times a year to certain people, UFC's on such a good run, they're hitting 8 and 9 out of 10 pretty consistently. But I do think that boxing can still be the big brother. I mean, look, when it is those 1, 2, 3 times a year, boxing's the lead story in sports, like, without question.
Yeah, to your point, people always wondered back in like the Floyd Pacquiao days, they were like, why do these fucking MMA sites putting up fucking Floyd or Pacquiao shit? It's like, dude, let me explain how this worked. You could have a great MMA month. No Floyd, no Pacquiao. Like, great month, whatever that number is. You could have the worst MMA month ever. And if Floyd or Pacquiao fought during that month, one of their fights would be like 3 of your best MMA months. Not an exaggeration. The amount of ads you could sell, the amount of boosting you could get as because here's the thing, if you get a high SEO ranking for an event, Google goes, aha, people go to this site. So that in future searches, you will get higher in the algorithm. So you'd be like, why are they doing this MMA site with boxing fucking traffic? Dude, because it would make your fucking year if you did that. That's why.
And I think, that speaks to some things, whereas I think there are certain elements of this population. Now, they're going to get older and get phased out, but there's still a large population that will never, ever accept MMA and never want to accept MMA. But those same
Steve
people...
Barlow doesn't like MMA. It's cool. I mean, he's the best.
But those same people might not follow boxing anymore, but they want to follow boxing. So when a big fight comes around that grabs them storyline-wise, they're instantly back in. There are a lot of sports fans who don't care or give a shit about boxing except for those 2 nights, but they will gladly pay for the pay-per-view and have a party and sort of check in on who's the guy of the moment.
All right. Well, enough of this conversation. We should watch porn. We should just watch pornography at this point.
What are you drinking, Luke? Okay, it looks like.
Have you ever watched pornography with another person?
In what way? Okay.
So I've got 2 times I've done it.
Don't share
time-
something gross.
No,
okay?
no, I won't. Totally not gross. One time forgivable. One time not really forgivable. Let's go the forgivable route. I was doing a CAX. Brian Stan has done a couple of those. It's called a combined arms exercise. So when you go to 29 Palms, California, and that's when Artie gets involved with aviation and grunts, and you're basically like, what happens if we bring a full force to bear? We bring air, we bring assaults with rifle companies, we bring artillery, we bring the tanks, the whole 9 yards. Combined arms exercise, right?
Yes.
So I was out in the field for weeks. I hadn't showered in weeks, and someone brought me, and this was in the 90s, someone brought me some nudie mags. And we watched nudie mags together.
You watched a nudie mag.
We only could have them for like an hour. So someone was like, here's your nudie mags. Like, you have to look at them and then like process it in your brain.
Take mental
Build
snapshots. Material.
Yeah. I don't feel like that's that bad. It was Hustler too. Like they were peeing on each other.
Okay, so when you asked me, the first thing that comes to mind is in the late 90s when I was like 17, 18. And I look back on it now and be like, that's weird. But like a bunch of us guys, if we were going to go drink at somebody's house, we'd go to the video store, be like, go sneak back in the back room and get a porn. And then we'd come back and put it on and sort of for shits and giggles. It wasn't like 6 guys would sit around and start, but you'd kind of put it on and be like, oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. But looking back, that's really awkward, right?
Yeah, it's really awkward. I one time tried to watch it with fraternity brothers, and I was like, nah, I'm out. This is fucking lame.
Yeah.
But my favorite is I went to this like local video store when video stores existed, and I rented one of the adult things where they had a private room. You go in the back to rent it, and I kept it. It was called Burying the Bone: 4 Hours of Barking and Banging. That's what it was called. I'll never forget it. We rented it when we had a winter storm once, because we were like, oh, the winter's coming. Let's rent some porn, and then we'll just we'll hold it. And I'll never forget, I didn't turn it in. And I had also checked out the South Park movie at the time. And I got, this is back when you had, answering machines at your house. And the answering machine goes, boop. And it was like,
sir, this is Steve from Video Wonderland. You have 2 titles that are out. The first is the South Park movie. The second is,
Bad to the boner.
Burying the Bone, 4 hours of barking and banging.
he goes, the second is,
And it was like this, I'm not kidding you, 30-second pause. I'm dying laughing. And he goes,
the second is that is an adult selection. Like, if you could return these at your earliest convenience, that'd be great.
I had a talk with Rashad Evans on the podcast last week about this, because growing up, you'd go into when you became a teenager, you'd go into the VHS store, the Blockbuster, whatever you had, and there was the curtained off adult area in the back. Mm-hmm. And your goal while you were in there was eventually to make it back there, right? Each time you entered alone.
yes, that's true.
Or with a friend or whatever. So what was your strategy? Was it like, because it wasn't just like, I'm going to act like I belong and walk back there, because technically you weren't 18, so they could boot you. But like,
The thing is, I always looked older than my age, so I didn't quite have these problems,
But you also didn't want to cause attention, like, for the guy that works there to be
Right.
looking at you or anyone else. So you kind of have to linger near the curtain, right? And get closer and closer, and then hope there's like a distraction of some point, and then dart right back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, before the internet, that was
you can just shoplift. I mean,
all right.
I just shoplifted, bro. What do you want to do? We have a bunch of unanswered questions.
Yeah, we can F around with that. There were some people who were very upset that they didn't get their question out. And to be honest, look, you were a little.
Did I not tell you there was too many fucking questions?
You were a little bit of a Dick Dickerson in your treatment of don't say the guy's last name, he may sue us. And then the one of like, oh, that question sucks. Let me go to that. Here's Eric's question. Oh, Eric, you suck a dick, Eric. All right.
I never told Eric, whoever that is, that he sucked dick. I just said I didn't want to do the question. I may have been ruder than that, but
and it doesn't have to be a dick. Oh, Eric, you penetrated the dental dam. Whatever.
You need my glasses. I have some glasses over here. All right, hand me the iPad. Closer I am to find you. What are you doing? Oh Jesus!
It's hot in here.
It is a little warm. Well, we have to turn the thing off. All right, I got my other glasses. The ones are in my backpack. All right, here we are. Let me get that iPad, please.
Where's your damn iPad? I don't live.
Fucking thing in front of you.
I don't live here. What do you want me to do?
Jesus fuck. Can you bring the stand that it's on, bro?
Here, hold the iPad, all right?
Jesus Christ almighty.
You want me to unplug it too?
Yeah, unplug it. It's fine. It should be charged by now.
Is this how you talk to your children?
No, I'm like, oh, little Violet.
That was so weird. I hope somebody makes that a gift. That was really weird. All right.
I talk to my daughter like she's a fucking princess, because she is.
I do, having two sons, I do wonder, if I had a daughter, I would just be like, do whatever the hell you want. Like, I'm a strict dad to my sons, you know, like, but,
Are you?
yeah, oh yeah, I'm a disciplinarian, yeah. Well, I was. I think last year I just gave up on that. You know why? Because I want to have good relationships with them when they get older.
Yeah. I grew up with divorced parents.
Your dad was a real a-hole.
No, quite the opposite. He just, my mom was a fucking My mom was from a foreign country, bro.
Oh God, you must have got the
What was the worst thing you were ever hit by with one of your parents?
just hands.
Oh,
Did you get the switch or the
switch.
Did you get the metal stick with the spikes on
The
it?
takedown defense my mom would use when I would try to escape her wrath. Fuck, dude.
The old Armenian armbar on your
Belt buckles,
Oh
electrical,
God, Luke.
electrical cords, pieces of wood. My mom broke.
That's assault, brother.
My mom broke a rake over my head, cracked
Dude,
it in half.
Can we report that retroactively? I mean, that's
At the time, I didn't think much of it. Now I'm like, I would never hit my daughter like that. I would never.
my
do that.
dad. I mean, it was the early '80s. My dad used to put me on his knee and hit him. But I think when I was like 5, one time he was about to do it, and then he was like, "Nah, I can't. Go ahead."
Yeah, my dad never spanked me.
My dad threatened to the rest of my life, but
My mom beat the fuck out of me. Oh my god, it was bad. But you know what's funny? My whole best friend in the world, he is from Iran. His parents are from Iran. They're actually not Muslim. They're something called Baha'i.
how's his camel clutch?
He's a little weakling. He's a sweet guy, but he's a fucking pathetic little human. His parents, bro. I mean, and not only that, my mom would say like super fucked up shit to me. Like here's the thing, I was pretty good academically. My brother was an academic superstar. Okay,
National Honor Society.
right. Here's the one. I mean, we were both National Honor Society. That's nothing. But my brother. The one thing I was able to keep up with him in math and science, I could not keep up. It was not possible. I was actually better than him in like sort of like literature, European history, American history, that kind of a thing. I was a little bit better than him, but like in most subjects, I got fucking smoked. And my mom would talk shit to me. My best friend, who's from Iran, I'll never forget this. His parents barely spoke English. My mom's English was pretty good. She spoke with an accent, but not too bad. His parents, their accent was like, "Where are you from?" You know, that kind of a thing. And I'll never forget. My friend was like, "Oh, I forgot to do this errand for my dad." And we got home to his house. They were not there, and the answering machine was on, and it was like boop, and it was like his name was. I won't say his name. Let's call him Jeff. That's not his name, but let's call him Jeff. He's like, "Jeff, this is your father." And then he starts speaking Farsi. And my friend is like sitting there listening, and all of a sudden he goes cold, bro. He goes cold. And then he just starts kind of chuckling, and then he goes, boop. And I'm like, dude, what did your dad say to you that made you do that? He goes, well, he said something like, I don't know what kind of primordial ooze you crawled out of. You're the dumbest human being alive, and I cannot believe you're my son.
Wow.
He one time...
Did you hit him with the Persian clubs too?
Oh, bro!
after?
I one time was at his house, and they were all speaking Farsi downstairs. They had one of these like split foyers where you could go up top, but you could see downstairs. And they had all these Persians over there, and they were all fucking speaking Farsi and shit. And I don't know what the fuck they're saying. And my friend and his sister are fucking dying laughing. I'm like, what are they saying? And basically, what they explained to me was there are 4 people down there: him, his mom, and then 2 of their friends who were Baha'i. They were all crying, laughing at how much better their lives would be if they had never had kids. And they heard all of this shit, dude. They heard all of it.
We didn't do that in the factory town. Yeah,
bro.
we
It's
didn't,
another. You think factory towns are tough? Try third world, motherfucker. It's another level. You understand that?
pour one out for the Persians, the Armenians, the Dohatians.
No, but
Thank you.
But here's the thing: his parents were the sweetest people to me.
You know who my favorite Iranian in the world is?
It's not Iranian, Iranian. Please say it right. Say it fucking right. Respect them. Respect them.
First of all,
respect them.
First of all, okay. I will. I'll respect them. Arash Markazi. Do you know the man?
The plagiarist out of LA Times?
First of all, fuck you. All right.
Okay, he's had multiple investigations about him.
Outside of those multiple investigations, you will not find somebody with a more beloved by every single person
Is that
who has
because
ever
he
met
took
him.
all of their shit and popularized it?
I'm not standing for this. That's my friend. All right, that's my friend. All right, I will not.
All right, here it comes. Speaking of someone who could be Persian, I don't know. First name is Ali. Hi, Luke and Brian. The movie A Few Good Men is the most underrated movie of all time. Your thoughts?
I've never actually watched it.
Okay, here's what I'd say about it. Jack Nicholson kills
That's the
that
you
movie.
can't handle the truth.
Yeah,
one.
exactly. It's totally unrealistic about the Marine Corps. It's nothing like the Marine Corps at all. I will say this. Tom Cruise is good in that movie.
Tom Cruise was bad.
Tom Cruise, people shit on him because of the Scientology. First of all his own stunt shit is great, number one. Number two,
Well, he is a psychopath with the Scientology.
100%,
Right?
no doubt about
He
it.
ruined Katie Holmes. Okay.
Okay, all that. I won't deny any of that. He's got his IMDb list is
Oh,
fucking
dude!
legit.
I don't even want to talk about the blockbusters. He has some deep tracks on his thing. Have you ever seen the one with Jamie Foxx? Collateral.
Where he's the hitman?
Yeah,
He kills
badass
it.
movie.
He kills it.
Look, obviously some of the one of his first ones, Losing It. Have you ever seen that comedy? It's about getting laid and going to Tijuana. You never saw Losing It?
I don't think I've seen
It's with
that
Jackie Earle Haley, the Bad News Bears, the guy that plays Kelly Leak. No, I'm telling you, deep tracks. He's got a lot of these random movies that you wouldn't think. Okay. By the way, speaking of him and that, what's the one where he did where the prostitute? You know what I'm talking about with the underwear. You know where I'm going. His big first hit when he was.
Eyes Wide Shut?
No, like '83. I'm talking. Rebecca De Mornay.
Cocktail?
No. The one. Everyone's probably like you asshole. Anyway, the whole point was to tell you how hot was Rebecca De Mornay. Underrated in the '80s and early '90s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hand that rocks the cradle. You know what I'm talking about here?
100%.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
All right. By the way, Few Good Men, though, definitely worth your time. You would like it.
I'll get into that.
You'd like it.
I'd bang that. Yeah.
Jack Nicholson kills that movie. Once again, proving my theory that villains are more interesting than heroes. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a pro wrestling guy. I'm wearing a pro wrestling shirt. You know what makes great baby faces, good guys in wrestling? That they don't get made unless you have credible villains. Same thing in action movies, right?
Right.
That's why Marked for Death with Steven Seagal is the best action movie,
not saying it's
because you
bad.
not only have
It's
the
not-
best villain of all time in Screwface, you got two of them.
I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is it doesn't compare to modern action movies. It just doesn't. All right.
Risky Business. How the hell did we not come up with Risky Business? dude?
Ba-na-na-na-na-na. That's the scene where he slides, where he's got the dad shirt
Yes.
on, and he slides.
And
into
how
the
about
ring.
All the Right Moves? That football movie, underrated. When they
Dude, I'm telling you, his IMDb is super.
And we're not even talking about the real hits, Far and Away, the boxing one, and that one was real good with Kidman.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, dude, that's a sleeper cruise movie too. That's
Wait,
really
the one that's like the frontiersman one?
No, he's like a Scottish immigrant on New York City. Like
his accent's so terrible in that though. Who lost their virginity first? How old were you when you lost your virginity?
this is there's.
I'm not. I didn't slay. I was a mathlete in high school. I wasn't an ass slayer.
Is anything sacred in your life? I mean, really?
Daughter.
How you were trying to show me daughter pics while we were talking about dongs the other night?
Well, because I wasn't even thinking. All right. If you have any recommendations for books or podcasts about having a healthy relationship with time, I always find myself thinking about the past and wish that I could go back to certain points in my life and relive them or change them. Oh, join the club, guy.
Yeah, definitely. If you can time machine, and here's I'll set up the thing. Okay, you get in the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure phone booth or the 1.21 gigawatts and the DeLorean. You can go back to any point in your life, but you must relive it from that point, knowing what you know now, of course. But you can't go back. You can't come back to the future. You have to go back. What point are you picking?
After getting out of the Marine Corps.
How, like, what, 22?
24.
You would pick it up from there.
Yeah, pick it up from there.
I often say first day of my senior year in high school.
Why is that?
In some ways, because I kind of effed off the last couple of years in high school and didn't fully apply myself, and could have been, could have been one of the better students and could have gone to a big college and could have done that all over again. Also, as we talked about the other night, could have hung and bung. You know what I mean?
I was reduced to begging other mathletes. All of them were kind of hot.
So I always feel like I do that over again and just relive my life with a different nastiness and attitude and belief. No.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But you know what, Luke? It sounds cliche to say I wouldn't change a thing because it made me who I am now. It really did. The failures, and I've had a lot of them.
I had a girlfriend once who was like, I don't live with regret. I'm like, what are you, a fucking psychopath? You've never made mistakes that you really thought you may have injured.
Well, no, I can back her on this. The whole idea
Get
of
the fuck out of here.
It's like
I'm not telling you to live with regret to the point where you are constantly.
well, there's a difference
consumed
between
with self-hatred.
there's a difference between living in the past and not getting out of it,
What I'm
right?
saying is, if you've made mistakes, I don't want you to constantly live in a state of
Yes,
anxiety.
yes.
about it. That's not what I'm saying. But do I have a regret about people I have mistreated in my
Yes.
past? Yes, of course I do. Why is that so hard to say?
Opportunities you didn't take advantage of,
yeah,
whether
even
it's
something mundane like that,
professionally or or going for the goal.
I should have studied harder for that test. Like, how do you not live with fucking regret?
But with that said, and even though in some ways I'm a late bloomer career wise and a lot of other things, what it did do to make you who you are. I don't think I'd be this humble if I hadn't given it away and as they say, punted it all away and just given up a few times.
Yeah, I think it's 20 after the Marine Corps is when I began to turn things around. So I wouldn't be changing much, but I definitely would be tightening a couple of screws that should have been tightened
Absolutely,
along the way. That's the thing for me. I don't want to change the full trajectory of my life, but I
think a lot of it is like I would not. I lived my life afraid for so many years without realizing I was that afraid of everything. What afraid of? Afraid of everything. Afraid of trying.
in what sense?
Afraid of trying and failing. Afraid
like
of
bad or
just
something.
not believing that you can learn things. You know what I mean? Like you just being like, I can't do that. Just being stuck in your own walls and bubble.
all right, BC. People asking about what about merch to Australia? What are we supposed to tell them?
All right, you guys have a right to be upset. It's 2020. We should not have an issue with international shipping. I have brought it up many times. I don't know if it ever got to the front lines or became a
Didn't we have a fucking meeting saying they were going to have
We
global
did.
shipping?
So I don't think this ever became something that, unfortunately, where they were like, we need to fix this tomorrow. I need to get them to that point because we have the best fans. We have great
From
Australian
all over the
fans.
fucking world.
England.
Dude, let me say this. New Zealand and Australia come correct. Dude.
Yes.
There are so
They
many people
get
out
us,
of
they get
Oceania.
fights, yeah.
100%, dude. Those are rock-ribbed fans right there. And not to diminish Sweden or the UK or France or wherever the fuck you're from. I'm just saying we get hit up constantly from folks out of the Oceania region. We're doing our best. Trust me, we're doing it. It is going to happen. We got to put our foot on the gas on this one a little bit. Okay, can we talk about this McGregor-Pacquiao shit?
Yeah. Are you going to announce any of the names who are giving us these emails, or these are faceless?
That was from
people?
Josh. This is from Josh.
Can we say his last name, please?
Actually, it doesn't have one, just W. What about Pacquiao and McGregor?
So that was very interesting today that that McGregor sent off all those tweets saying he had tried to fight Diego Sanchez. And by the way, here's back in February, a string of like 19 DMs between me and Dana kind of negotiating shit. Let's talk about what we learned from those DMs first, Luke, okay? That
Why does he call everybody kid?
That Dana calls him kid. Now, look, Dana really, if you can give Dana credit, he's a guy who stands by his word. He made promises to Conor about certain things, and he fought for him and backed it up. You also see Conor kind of being hip to Dana's bullshit by like sort of calling him out at certain points. Like
a little bit
the
of
old
that. Yep.
switcheroo and all that.
Yep.
I mean, Conor seemed hellbent on wanting to fight in L.A. It also,
The Diego thing to me seems like he's just throwing it out there.
well, he wanted that for the Cowboy fight, or he wanted that everyone to have a second tuna fight. Look, if it wasn't for the COVID, he wanted to fight 3-4 times this year.
Right.
So he wanted to maybe, but here's the problem: if you're a Conor hater, it seemed like he wanted to do attraction fights and wait out until he can finally get Habib again.
Correct.
Right?
That's right. Well, here's the thing. Well, tell him. Okay.
Like you
Pacquiao-
could have fought Gaethje. Well, you should have fought Gaethje, right?
Right. Here's the thing. Pacquiao is supposed to be washed by every normal metric. Dude, Pacquiao is not fucking
You
washed.
see the odds that came out? Minus 1,200 for Pacquiao.
Yeah,
Rightfully freaking
about-
so. Okay.
You people out there, here's the thing. Combat sports being what it is, uncertainty being what it is, puncher's chance being what it is, of course, a guy like Conor McGregor always has an opportunity to win. Y'all,
say that,
this
but-
is not Mayweather.
Do you know what the biggest disappointment about Maymac was?
Huh.
In my eyes, the fact that we talked up the puncher's chance of Conor, and even though I think Conor exceeded in other categories, like his actual pure boxing
His
ability,
power didn't translate.
His power didn't translate at all. Remember, he landed that pretty beautiful uppercut to Floyd's throat in round one.
Actually, if you go closely, it actually bounced here and then here.
Okay, then that took some of the power off.
Yeah, still.
And look, and I know like you actually can watch the video, and you and I did the drunken replay of that. He actually seemed to hurt Floyd to the body late in the fight. There was sort of like this phantom ghost punch.
Yep.
But
Floyd didn't train for that fight.
either way,
That's what
Floyd didn't train for that fight. People in his camp have confirmed it to me. He was retired for 2 years. There were a lot of things. We hadn't seen Conor yet, all that. Pacquiao has been active. Dude, he just beat Keith Thurman in a great fight last summer. You know what I mean? Like, and dropped him and looked great. He's going to kick the app. I'm sorry.
Keith Thurman was a world champion. Understand that.
Yes, and unbeaten, and has great power and can box. Manny's going to knock him out within 5, bro. Like 100%. It's going to be the Ricky Hatton fight all over again. He's going to catch him cold and drop him. Okay, Floyd never had at the at welterweight or 154 or wherever the one punch power. Manny's
It was so weird. He was like, I want the Diego fight in MMA or the Pacquiao fight. I'm like, wow, the Diego fight where Conor would almost certainly just destroy him, or conversely, you want the Pacquiao fight where Pacquiao again.
What is he thinking? Okay, let's try to get in Conor's head.
Fuck.
Dude, he will knock him out cold. It won't be like he's exhausted and Floyd walks him down and stops him.
Like he did Hatton?
It will be like Hatton. And look, I know, Pacquiao also didn't carry his power all the way up as consistently to welterweight, but he still hits you with those quick punches you don't see coming. Look at the first round
What
against
weight
Thurman.
did he fight? I remember Oscar had to cut a lot of weight. What weight did Pacquiao fight Oscar?
At a catch weight of...
Oscar was drained, I remember.
yeah, it was 147, actually.
Okay. He fucked Oscar. He fucked Oscar's shit.
Oscar
up in
had
that
nothing.
one.
Oscar had nothing.
Okay, you're like, oh, Pacquiao should not be this good this old. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really know how Barry Bonds
we know
hits.
how. We just can't say how for the fans.
I don't really know how Barry Bonds hit 73 home runs that year, but it
How
was...
did Mark McGuire do that? I don't know the answer to that. Only it remains a mystery.
All right, here's the deal, though. All of your heroes, and I don't mean to get Luke Thomas on you, but all of your heroes are effing touching this stuff, okay? And we can go fighter by fighter of all of our heroes, too. And in this modern day and age, they can't not do it because everybody else is, okay?
We're not saying Pacquiao is. We don't know that.
No, it's just, he has really big calves, though. He might inject himself right in the
He
calf.
also has big, too? He has slightly, and I do mean this, slightly smaller wrist circumference than the Klitschko's.
So do you claimed yesterday or
do.
this morning, as I was helping you put on your
measured. It's
cufflinks,
true.
that you have wrists as big as the Klitschko's.
I
Okay?
do.
Do you have a steel hammer as big as Vlad?
Fuck
or-
no. God, no. I mean, come on now. We gotta, I gotta take my wins where I can get them.
I mean, there's an Irish curse. Is there an Armenian curse? I should ask Armin that. Right? What's his
Yeah.
name?
Tarverdian.
Tarverdian. Yeah.
Okay. This one has actually Pacquiao at minus 450.
You mean from? Oh, that's not a
Bovada,
fan.
though.
Yeah.
All right, from Charles, excuse me. If you could do a celebrity fight, which A, one actor, or B, musician, and C, fighter, highly incapacitated, would you like to beat up? Dude, would you not want to? I mean, it's like, dude, who likes Adrian Broner? I'm not saying I would want to fuck him up personally. I don't think I would want to do that. I don't have it in me, but like,
Broner said on Custer's podcast he's coming back in January against Ivan
did he
Redkach.
really?
Yeah.
the thing, dude, I remember years ago when we were like, dude, Broner's the next big.
Yeah, and he didn't have the
just
work
fucked it
ethic.
all up. All right,
I'd like
what-
to see Broner against Amir Khan in a boxing freak fight. That'd be fun, right?
Yeah, provided Broner's not like sending out pro-abortion Instagram messages. Remember that?
Or I'm going to kill myself today at 3:30. Send money now, please. Yeah.
All right, which actor or musician? How about what's an actor or musician like to see just get like one punch KO'd in the street or something?
Bono.
What's wrong? I don't love or hate him, but what's wrong with Bono?
Just a
He's just a pretentious ass.
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't hate you two. Obviously,
You two got some bangers.
obviously their best stuff is very good and stands the test of time. And really throughout their whole career.
Bono and be like,
I didn't like the Zoo Palooza.
Sunday
or
Bloody
whatever.
Sunday is pretty fucking good.
No, the early '80s stuff is amazing. I mean, look,
Remember that political show I did?
Mysterious Ways still bangs. What?
The political show that I did on the weekends? We would open with Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Pretty
fair.
fun.
Bono seems like an absolute dick, though.
Who would I love to just see to get a bus driver uppercut? Actor or musician? Ooh. Who do I really just fucking can't stand? I don't have that kind of antipathy for most actors, believe it or not. Despite the joke that was made about them in the South Park movie. Musician I can't stand. Oh, Kanye I can't stand. Can't stand is
I
like
kind of like how he's trolling the people pretty badly.
I don't get into that. And he's like, "Oh, here are these new Yeezys. Who are you fucking Martians who are buying this shit?" Like, I'm not cool when it comes to 99.9% of things, and I'm also not saying I'm cool about sneakers, but I'm not completely lost on that. I'm not totally. I have like 8 or 9 pairs of Jordans. I've got
8 or 9. Wow.
Yeah.
You, Luke.
I mean, I've been wearing Air Maxes for a long time. I'm always on East Bay. I'm always on a lot of places that East Bay is sort of a clearinghouse for anything. But I'm on a specialized sites where you have to bid on Jordans to get them. You know, his shit is not that great. It's not that. I don't give a fuck about it. But it doesn't look. You ever seen Yeezys where it's like everything looks like it's printed inside?
What the hell's a Yeezy, Luke? I don't know what
Those
you're
are his
talking
shoes.
about. I don't speak that. All right, I'm sorry.
So Kanye taking a bus driver uppercut. That'd be good. Okay, otra pregunta. Another question.
From Fidel. He's
from
Cuban.
Fidel.
Yeah.
Pick a moment, past and future, when you would like to have Brian by your side or instead of you. What? Did I read that right? Yes.
I can't be the only Peruvian following you guys, he says.
No, I have a friend who's Peruvian who watches on occasion. His name is Hop. He's a nice guy.
During my
What
during
does this mean?
Long Live Peru.
No, it means hugs from Peru.
All right.
Can we hug?
Remember when I got the 3 needles? I could have used you. That could have used you. And they're okay. I had a Vietnam vet. He was 75 performing the surgery on me. Did not believe in pills ahead of time. Okay, said it would only be 1 needle. It was 3. Said suck it up. It won't hurt. Luke, do you know how much that hurts? I'm not a look. I don't have a great pain tolerance. I'm gonna admit it to you. Do you know how much 3 needles to your handbag? Do you know what that feels like?
Didn't you get an anesthetic?
Those are the anesthetic, bro.
You're a pussy, though.
Bro, if I had a needle on me right now, okay, what I'd probably do is pump fake the rear naked choke, and I think I'd draw your guard because I think you're in the back of your mind. You're thinking, why is this guy's confidence so strong about this rear naked choke? He must be training. There must be something to it. I do have to protect my image. I do need to watch my back. Then I would come right in. Right down right with it and show you what that feels like. Women probably have it worse giving birth or when they go up in the stirrups and I don't know what goes on there, right? You know what I'm saying? When the doctor's like, hike, you know what I'm saying? And they get checked out. I mean, it must be awful, right? You get a thick needle to the testis. All right, Luke.
Yeah, but you're a pussy. All right, phone call to 20-year-old yourself. What would you say? From Adam.
That's a good question. That's a good question here. This is a legitimate question. What exactly would you say to yourself?
The answer for me is nothing.
Oh, so, wait, you're just as bad as the chick who's saying,
hear me
"I don't
out.
regret a thing."
No.
Luke,
I
okay?
do regret all those things. I'm gonna let him figure it out. It's at 24, 25. That if the phone call was 5 years later,
That's a fair point.
I would give
At 24, 25, you do probably need a kick in that ass.
because that's when you do. Once you get to that halfway to 30 point, you
Yes.
begin to be like, "Ooh, what's happening here?"
Okay.
20 years old. I'm 20 nothing.
I do agree that you need to really fuck up in your late teens, early
gotta
20s.
make some
you know,
mistakes, dude.
yeah. I would tell myself this. I'd be like, stop being a pussy. Like, just go live. Go. You know what I mean? Like, swing and
thought
miss.
about why you're
I would
so
say
scared? Like,
swing
why
and
are you
miss.
scared?
That's a fair question. You know, I mean, there's probably some element of my parents who meant well in the way that I don't know. You know, maybe I don't know. There's a lot of mental health issues in my family that I'm coming to terms with later in my life and fighting off myself. I don't know if that plays a part in it. Luke, I don't know what it is, but all in all, I look back, I would take many more chances. Not the many reckless chances in life I took at 20, but I would take more focused chances. All right.
I have some thoughts on this. Ready? Hang on.
What is this? I like this.
Titties, ass, titties, ass, titties, titties, ass, titties. Big booty bitches, that's where it gets. Come on, ho, let's go to the easy rest when I see ass, titties, ass, titties, ass, titties, titties, ass, titties. Big booty bitches,
Pushing balls, pushing balls.
We're two white dudes in their 40s doing this. Titties, ass, and titties.
3 needles to the bag, baby.
Oh, I guess he's got a line. This is my favorite. Ass hoes. Broke. It's not this one. Hang on. It's this next one, I think. Here we go. That's where he gets the poetic with it.
Keep shaking that shit. See how good you shake it.
I'm coming. Hold
All
on.
right, now it's getting awkward.
Hold on.
Now it's getting awkward. It's getting a little awkward right now.
Keep shaking that shit.
No, it's not this one. Here we go. So, that need to wash up. Don't get mad at me when I don't want to. You need soap and water. Soap and water. Soap and water. Soap and water. Water.
You know, Luke, I have a fear of needles, and that's gratefully what has prevented me from getting many tattoos that would have regretted all these years later. But I used to always say, hey, you know, give me 14 beers, not so I can get a little bit buzzed for the first time, like your false advertising about your actual drinking ability, but more like, hey, maybe, you know, if you give me a chance to drink 14 beers and then enter into the tattoo studio, maybe I'd go for it. Would you do that for a vasectomy right now?
Why would I want a vasectomy?
That's not in your future plans?
No, I'm having another kid, bro.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
this
thinking
is
about it.
great.
Yeah,
Congratulations to the Thomas
Thinking
household.
about having another kid, man. Yeah.
I hope you have a daughter.
I already have one, dude.
No, I hope you have. You don't need a son. You don't need a son.
We might adopt.
Oh, okay. That I can appreciate.
We might adopt.
Like Michael Chandler.
Yeah, well, my wife is, she's at an age where it's a health risk.
My wife was very nervous as she got closer to 35. Sort of like it,
No,
like,
my wife is in her 40s.
so is mine, but
No, I'm saying, is your wife going to get pregnant now?
no,
I mean,
because I got 3 needles, bro.
3 needles, bro.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm mentally scarred from the experience.
Sounds like it. You bring it up a lot. All right. What's your opinion of the Deftones?
I never got into. I never tried, so I don't have an opinion.
Any songs you like from the Deftones?
Is that ska? The mighty.
Have you heard of
to the Deftones?
Have you heard of YouTube? That's that that's that reggae band.
I see.
That's that reggae band from Dublin, right?
You know, people say that. Do you see how could you be a music guy and have? Everybody has holes. Everybody has things that they didn't listen to. Okay?
I would call it hard rock / sort of light metal, something like that.
I guarantee you could play a song and I'd be like, oh, I didn't know they sang that. But no, I don't off the top of my head have a.
Okay,
Deftones
where are
experience.
you on Megadeth?
I never, very peripherally.
Actually, let me back up a second.
I had a.
Hold on. Where are you on Metallica?
Yes. So I admit I almost got into Megadeth through Metallica, but I never quite got there. So for Metallica, I've actually never bitten down and digested Kill 'Em All to have a real opinion. I love And Justice for All. I love Master of Puppets. Of course, I've done time with the Black Album, both loving and hating it separately. Not really hating it, but you get the whole idea of like the commercial
much,
sellout
yeah.
and all that. I did some time with Saint Anger. With the pots and pans on drums. That's about it. I didn't go load reload. I didn't go anymore. But dude, I had a run. I mean, And Justice for All. I mean, I love it. I know Master of Puppets a little bit more of who they really are, and in some ways, And Justice for All is a little commercialized, but it's perfect for me. Okay. I never took that jump to Megadeth. I think I listened to the first album. I respect Mustaine. I like him now. He's turned his life around. He believes in the Lord. Okay.
Fuck all that shit. Here's what I know.
Luke, you'll burn one day.
Probably. Here's what I know. People who are Megadeth fans will hate this comparison because they'll say it's inaccurate because the two bands are too distinct to say this, which is true. But I've always believed that Megadeth is a poor man's Metallica.
Yeah. I mean,
Dave Mustaine is
Dave
very-
Mustaine left Metallica. And
Dave Mustaine is very talented. I will not say otherwise. And they have a certain thrash. They adhere to thrash in all its many elements in ways Metallica never did. Certainly for much longer, but they were just shittier most of the time.
Who sent this in? This is a good question.
From B-Scan 2000. Yeah. By the way, so for example, I was a huge Deftones fan through my 20s and in my teens. Around the Fur, great album. Their first album was amazing. Bored is one of the best songs I've ever heard. As simplistic as it was. As they got older, I found their shit. Here's the thing. You actually would appreciate them. They started out as kind of like, very 4-chord, hard, super distorted guitars. And they ended up doing very experimental music. Like, by the time they got to White Pony, which is where the Diaz brothers like really repped them pretty hard. I mean, I'm not saying the Diaz brothers didn't like them before, but that's when they really began to have like a public identity about it. They were doing very progressive, out there kind of shit. That's what actually lost a little bit of interest in them. And remember I told you a friend of mine was a scout for the Capitals? So
No.
my buddy of mine was a scout for the Capitals, and so we used to get tickets to go to.
Is he Iranian?
No, he's white. His wife is white. I knew him because his wife and I served in the same unit in the Marine Corps together.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
A little bit of G.I. Jane action there.
Dude, she was tough as balls.
Don't ask,
I got a million
don't
stories
tell,
about her.
okay?
No. We always kept it super platonic. She was cool, but anyway, she married this dude who was a scout for the Capitals, and so we would get tickets to go to at the time Verizon Center, and they were like, "Yo, we got these tickets. If you want to go, you can't go on the floor, but you'll be in the seats for Deftones opening up for the Armenians out of L.A."
Alien Ant Farm?
No, Jesus, they're big.
Tarverdian and the Head Movements?
That's a good one, dude. System of a Down. System of a
Dude, I like the shit out of that one commercial album they had, with the
Down. They have 2 commercial albums.
first one. The one with the damn wake up.
Oh, that was the first of them. That was the Kombucha Mushroom People.
I used to listen to that whole thing. I liked that
Their
record.
second album was more commercialized than that. Anyway, my wife hated System of a Down before that, but she was like, you know what? We got invited. Tickets free.
I once burned a
Hold on.
CD.
She's
I once
like-
burned a CD of that System of a Down one and gave it to my dad, who likes all kinds of music, and his response was why would you give me this shit? Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I was always much more. I like System, but I was always much more of a Deftones fan. Deftones opened, and they were okay, not great. And my wife fucking I like System, but she hated System. But she was like, "Hey, buy me cocktails. We'll get an Uber. It'll be fine."
I can't believe your wife goes to Cannibal Corpse concerts. I want to save her.
She's not that into that.
I want
kind
to
of-
save her from you.
I was like, she's not that into that kind of metal. She was on her phone most of the time, but hear me out. System came on. Dude, I will give credit. I'm not that big of a System fan. I like them, but I'm not that big of a fan. Their live show is maybe
I could
one
see
of
him
the best
bringing it.
live
I could
shows
see him
I've
absolutely
ever
bringing
seen.
it.
I was my wife afterwards was like, I got to tell you, I'll never listen to System of a Down again.
But that kicked ass.
I am so glad I went to this.
All right, I need to commandeer
They
this.
fucking
I need to
smoked
commandeer
that
this
shit.
music because we're in somewhere where we can actually talk here and we're not all into corpses and abortion. What is your favorite Metallica song?
What a cool.
And I don't mean like try to wow me with some B-side. Like just, it could be a popular one. Just give me the one like where if I'm like put on a Metallica song, we'll rock out.
Well,
What
you
do
have to
do?
talk about which Metallica you
No, don't
No.
clarify.
So if they want to go thrash, so let's go.
Because I know you're a more appreciator of who they actually are, like the Kill 'Em All, like where I'm more of when they slowly get a little bit of commercialized and class and and justice and get a little a little bit mainstream, not full on mainstream, not Bob Rock, but a little bit of mainstream. I'm gonna go with I think Battery's their best song, but my favorite one is
Battery is fucking up there.
is Harvester of Sorrow. I mean that is just badass, bro.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That guitar riff is just yeah.
Battery is going to be up. Have you never heard the Battery they did with orchestra?
I have not. That's probably incredible.
So the thing I learned about S&M was that much of their shit.
S&M?
That was the name of the album. They did with the orchestras. It was
Oh,
called S&M.
okay. I thought you were just suddenly
No.
taking a left turn here. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no. This is the thing I learned about butt sex.
the thing I learned about dripping candles on my balls. Yeah.
No, here's what I mean. It was that some of the stuff they tried to mix it, and it just didn't work. You appreciate the effort, but not everything works. But there's a couple of them that mixed that really did. Battery mixed better than
Battery's
many of them.
fucking hard.
Fucking battery.
Battery is hard. I love it.
That one is great. I would say Battery's up there. I would say after Battery. Whew.
Someone called Blackened?
Blackened is the end. Yeah, there's another one.
That's the name of it, right?
That's
Yeah.
Injustice
That
for
one.
All,
That
yeah.
one's pretty
Mhm.
badass. Yeah.
Fuck, man. I don't know. I'd have to.
Never.
Yeah.
All right, next question is, and I mean this serious because I love concerts so much. There was a time in my life, there were two different periods where I considered myself a professional concert goer. I was going every week to something.
You and my wife.
There was a point where I had long nights at ESPN where I ranked all, now I'm up to, I think, 84. All, at that time, it was 77. All 77 concerts I've been to in my life. I rank them in order of a combination largely 75% in terms of was the concert, the music experience good. But I think you do have to add in 25% of a couple things. One, who was there with you? Two, the party atmosphere that you had. Three, how much you knew of the band's catalog at that point, you know what I'm saying? And four, Luke, how close you were to the action, right? Because I've had great concerts, but I'm in the back of the lawn, you know, getting high. You can't really experience that. What is the best concert you've ever been to? It doesn't have to be your favorite band, just the best damn show, okay? This is an important question in terms of what I care about.
Easy answer for me. I've seen some good ones. I've seen also the ones I've seen are so different. So I saw.
I need one though. I need one.
I've seen this. It's a brother and sister duo. I believe they're Mexican, called Rodrigo y Gabriela. They're two guitarists.
Really?
Oh my god,
They blew you away?
So the dude, they solo guitar. They don't sing at all. The dude put a GoPro at the end of his guitar, and then he streamed it to the audience, and then played Metallica. He played played Master of Puppets, and he did the slide on the guitar with a beer bottle.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, it was fucking amazing. So
Yeah.
like, okay, that's totally different.
Did you know a lot about them when you went to the show?
My wife did. She was like, "Let's go," and
All right.
it was like shockingly good. The best concert I've ever been to was the 2000 HF Festival.
Okay, how I look at festivals is I break down each separate show as its own concert.
So
Because
there
I've been to
were
a bunch of
many-
festivals.
There were many stages. It's okay. It's fine. But the stage that I went to was the main stage. A million acts, but here are the four that matter.
See, you're not answering my
Hold on,
question
I am,
of your
I am.
favorite concert. You're
I am.
now let
Hang
me
on,
give.
hang on. Cypress Hill, Deftones.
This was
but the-
2000?
This was 2000. But the one that mattered was Rage Against the Machine, open for Stone Temple Pilots.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So in 2000, what album are they touring at that point?
That was after Evil Empire. That was pre.
Battle of Los
Battle of
Angeles,
Los Angeles.
which is an underrated album. That one rocks.
Not as good as Evil Empire.
No,
Evil
not
Empire
even
was
close.
better.
But I'm saying people look at it as almost they went down a cliff. No, Battle of Los Angeles rules, bro. All right. So that's your favorite concert.
That was such an experience, dude. Rage Against the Machine.
I never saw them live, but I
Who
want.
in their prime? Because I saw Rage with Wu-Tang, and that sounds.
My best friends went to the one in '97 in Hartford when they burnt down the fence in the
Yeah.
back and people were pissing and there was actually race riots in the crowd. Like it was out of control.
Right. That sounds cooler. The concert sucked. It was not that good. Like there was like 50,000.
You're like race riots. Sounds pretty cool. You know?
Well, okay. Well, I saw them in Atlanta. There was like 50,000 dudes on stage for Wu Tang, and you could barely understand what the fuck they were saying. It sucked.
That's
Rage
the
was
thing.
good,
Rap
but
concerts suck. People don't realize that.
they're good in small venues, very small venues.
Okay.
Anyway, that was the best one I think I've ever seen.
That's badass. All right, my number one is I think I told you this before. I love the Black Crowes now. Didn't love them then. Thought they were just they have some good radio hits, whatever. Saw them at Bonnaroo in 05 and was like,
Bonnaroo.
I was like, oh my God, I need to see him again. And the reason was because that was the first year that they got the full lineup back together. The brothers were getting along, so they got together. So New Year's Eve 2005, Madison Square Garden, which matters, Luke. I don't care if you're going to a basketball game, a fight, a concert, you go to MSG, it matters. New Year's Eve, Trey from Fish opened up, and the Black Crowes, I had 18th row on the floor. And Luke, I know you're now tuning me out as you do in these videos when I share important details of my life.
Mm-hmm.
They played the hits. They did 4 Zeppelin covers. They did Stones covers. It was just one of those times we kept looking at your friend and you're like, we're seeing something special here. And it was the MSG. It was the romance of that. It was fucking awesome. So since then, I have a lot of respect for that band. When they got back together, they can jam.
What was your first concert?
White Trash. I don't know if you remember them.
I do.
They had a
Ugly
bit-
Kid Joe or whatever.
No, you're thinking of Ugly Kid. They were a lot like Ugly Kid Joe. They had a song called not Cherry Pie. That's Warrant. They had a song called Apple Pie, and it was an
This
MTV
is
hit.
Battery,
It was
by
a
the way.
ska MTV hit. It was in 1991. I saw him at Lighthouse Park in East Haven, Connecticut, on the ocean. And the thing that's memorable about that, my dad took our whole family, my sister's friend, and my uncle came too. They started throwing full beer cans at the people in the crowd, who were then firing them back. So there's a parade of beer cans, and my dad looks at us. He goes, "We're out of here," and we left like 2 songs into the
My
show.
first concert, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It was the first one my mom ever let me go to. Was Collective Soul.
Oh my God!
Collective Soul.
Wow.
Remember that?
What was their? They had a couple hits. What was the big one? It was Heaven Let Your Light Shine Down. Oh no, that's right. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Heaven Let Your Light
The other
Shine
one was
Down.
like, and I walk to the edge, and my tears
yeah.
fall down. That was a big hit. Battery.
Do you have any respect for the Black Crowes?
Sure, they're not my thing, but yeah.
They can jam in
I
concert.
gotta say about that.
You don't
Cannibal
like
Corpse
jamming,
concert I went
bro.
to,
Bro, you don't like jamming. What's wrong with
I
you?
do like jamming. I don't like jamming from fucking douchebags.
You know, there's people that love our show that believe that you need THC in your life, and if you did,
I love THC. I don't have anything against THC.
okay, well they think that will set you free, Luke.
Can you imagine thinking you know somebody through this? Can you imagine that? Amazing.
Do you know you just complain that nobody knows you after all these years? And then
You
you're
do.
like, can you imagine actually knowing somebody through this thing?
You do. Battery is found in me.
Now, did like the violinist headbang? The cellist? I mean, did she?
They kind of get into it, but not really.
Okay.
Fucking battery.
This kind of is the ultimate sellout, though. If you're like a totally awesome, metal thrash band, and you're like, let's do the orchestra, right?
You know what was amazing? My wife took me. I don't like them. They're not my thing. They're amazing, but they're not my thing. My wife took me to an Anthrax show, and the openers were Down. Do you know Down? It's like it's one of the many side acts of Phil Anselmo. Phil Anselmo is the former lead singer of Pantera. Bro, can I tell you? And he had,
He loves boxing, by the way, Phil.
Phil, he does?
Yeah, he loves boxing.
Is that right?
100%.
I didn't know that. Okay. Because after the Nazi thing, it was like, oh, I got a distance over here. It's like, Phil, why were you doing the Heil Hitler, bro? I mean, fuck, man. You made things so hard to like you, but... And I know he apologized and whatever. Here's my point. So I saw him with Down, and they played this song called Bury Me in Smoke. Holy shit, dude. Phil Anselmo is like old and fat now, and he's like doesn't have nearly the same fucking verve that he did when he was, it was 2000 and Pantera was at the height of their powers. That is one of the most charismatic, stage commanding frontmen
Okay.
I have ever seen.
Okay.
He was clearly washed, and he could still do it, dude. Even my wife was like, dude, Phil kind of still has it. Absolutely, bro. He had...
Did your wife have a thing for him? Maybe?
No, he's fat and ugly now, but like... The thing was, you ever seen a guy who just has this connection with the audience, and he knows how to like milk it and use it and like...
Yeah, me today on the set of Morning Combat.
Well, not exactly. I mean, you more just sort of act out like a toddler, and then everyone else is a toddler.
I'm a man of passion, and sometimes it just spills
Bro,
over.
I'm a man of passion too, motherfucker. The only difference is people think they mistake my passion for anger.
Does your lovely wife have a thing for abrasive white men, or like how did you win this lady?
Shocking as this may come to you, I'm actually fucking cool
Smooth?
as shit. Yeah, I'm actually pretty smooth when I need to be.
You're suave off camera,
No, I am generally not. When I need to be, I'm quite good at it.
or maybe it's because you're so real.
That's part of it too. Here's a big part of it. Remember, everybody I grew up in my orbit, was from a different part of the world and or the country or whatever. And so having somebody who can respect other cultures, I think made it a lot easier for me to make my way into her heart. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying, bro? Romantic style.
All right.
Where are you on 311?
One of my 5 favorite bands of all time.
You are such an absolute
Bro, what?
correct person. No, I'm teasing. I don't hate them like other people do. I don't love them.
I think the problem is when they were
What's your favorite 311 song?
when they came out with, and I love Amber, right? And I love the cover of Love Song, but like that was a period in their time where I think they were looking for longevity and trying different things. The first four albums are so fucking great. The music
song is the shit.
Okay, no, well it is, but I want you to play something off of music. The first album is amazing, Luke. I like Grassroots. It's a good album. Okay, Omaha Style, very good song.
Nebraska, bro.
Are you well versed on the first album music?
No, I'm not.
Okay. You need to pause your life, Luke. And if you think you know them, listen to the first album. It's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard.
Is it hard?
It's hard. Look, it's hard.
Is that what it is? It's hard.
Look, their third album that we all love is very commercial. They tried to sell out.
That was the
you
one that
know?
had the blue and black.
Yeah, which
cover?
it's a great album, by the way. But look, they had
Do you remember
Down,
the
they had all
racist
mixed up.
conspiracy theory that
Yeah, KKK, 11th letter of the alphabet 3 times. Yeah. I love them. I love their longevity. I would see the shit out of them today, Luke. Yeah, it's a great album. I can't believe you don't have their first album, Luke. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not that stupid. Hang on a second. Oh, fuck. Did it die on us? Did we lose all of that?
If we did, I quit. I mean, are you kidding me, Luke?
We might have. Yeah, we did.
When you say all of it, what do you mean?
Well, we recorded all the audio, so someone can put up a still, but we lost a lot of it. All right, let's just end it here. That's it. That's the end of the diaries, bro.
So your great technology that you bragged about, I don't know, since the first time I met you,
It overheated.
it has failed you every single night.
Welcome to my life, bro.
Bro, we just did a deep dive on the history of music in which you're like, I know 311. Oh, I don't know their first album. Like,
Welcome to my life, bro. Welcome. They'll put up here's what they'll do. They will, and let me get one more drink before we go. They'll put up like a holding screen, and we'll be fine. It'll be okay. People will listen.
All right, we didn't have the piss and vinegar, the zest.
They didn't. What were they? They're tuning in for the production value of these. Is that what they're doing?
I'm just saying, we poured out what was left of us tonight. All right,
We're
Luke.
done, bro. It's hard to do these every night. Hang on, let me get another drink. Carry that tune, maestro.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that I love 311. They're a great band, and they were one of those bands, Luke, that you understand their limitations. They're not great, right? But they produce a feeling in you. There's a party vibe.
You know who was a semi-sex symbol?
Who?
Nick Hexum.
Nick Hexum, a sex symbol? Yeah, he's pretty.
A lot of girls I knew who wanted it back.
He's a pretty handsome guy. I'm a big fan of Peanut. Beat that thing. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow.
So repeat the question because they can't hear me.
Yes, Luke.
Who's a music guilty pleasure?
Luke is asking who was a music guilty pleasure, and it's a great question. And we all have answers like that. I mentioned Dashboard Confessional the other night. I'm sorry, I love him. I'm sorry, I don't care what you think about that. Here's someone I'm not going to say is a guilty pleasure, but I'm going to say when I say his name, you're not going to know better, so you're going to make fun of me because you're going to think of when he went full pop, when he went full of sexy tunes to try to make money and get women. Early rock solo Rod Stewart is one of the greatest voices in rock history. I'm talking about when he was fronting the Jeff Beck group. I'm talking about
I'm not
when
mad at that.
when he was the lead of Faces. If you don't know Faces, Ron Wood from the Stones, Rod Stewart, his first 3 solo albums, Luke, 5 stars, amazing. And then he was like, "If you want my body," and then he totally was like, "I just want to bang white women."
Who didn't?
Rod the Mod. His voice is so soulful and sultry. You would think it was a black man.
I'm going to say my music guilty pleasure. That's an interesting one. You know what? My phone will tell me the answer to
Rod's
that.
not a guilty pleasure, though.
Do you have my phone? Do you see my phone right here? That'll. I have the answer on that one. Oh, I told you. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, which I can't justify. It does. It works.
I got Fleetwood Mac. I'm sorry. I never wanted to be somebody who owned rumors.
You and Bill Clinton.
So it's produced. It's
Did you both fly to Epstein Island? It's you who's farting, by the way.
It's not me. I would always.
It is you who is farting.
I would always claim that shit. All right.
I don't believe you.
I would always.
You are an absolute farter.
That date I went on in 2005.
Why is farting relevant?
So on the first date with this girl.
God, boy, that must have been a great date if farting is the segue.
So she's like, on the first date, she happens to mention, one time I got so drunk that the next day I went to work in the morning at a clothing store and I was climbing the mini ladder, like replacing the shirts up there, and I passed out from being hungover and dehydrated.
Yeah.
And I hit my head on the floor, and she goes, "I lost my sense of smell for life." And I buried that shit in the back of my brain.
She got that COVID, bro.
Okay. On the next date, we were in the car on the way.
There was another date?
Oh yeah, we were in the car on the way to the bar, and I just let one of those silent but
Deadly.
would kill a third world.
Sierra fucking Bravo Delta.
I even lifted the left cheek while I was driving, right? And I totally just raided that car. I mean, it was like baking up a car. You couldn't even see through the smoke. And I kept the conversation flowing. Like with those lie detector tests, there was no breaking her word.
People in Connecticut are like, wow, is that Cheech and Chong or did BC have broccoli today?
You know what? She was right, Luke. She can't smell shit, right? Yeah.
Oh, dude, I fart in front of my wife now, and she's like, "You are a fucking animal."
Yeah, I mean that's
It's the primate house.
passage post marriage, right?
you know, I saw this comedian once. He was like, I'm single now, which is great because I can fart in the bed again. That's a simple pleasure, bro.
I don't know if you can't fart in front of your significant other.
Yeah, but I mean,
do you have a relationship?
but like
you
when
know?
you're first dating,
Yeah, in the early. Yeah.
you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that.
I remember the first time when my wife and I were dating, I slept over her house the next day. She was just like, just want to let you know that, you know, you kept me up snoring, and that's fine, you know? And I was like, oh, sorry about that. She goes, and I think you shit your pants in the middle of the night. And she's like, you know, she was like, it just kept going on and on.
Oh, dude, I've had nights where I woke up the next morning. My mom, Jesus Christ. My wife was like, you need to go to the doctor. And I was like, why? She's like, you have cancer. You have cancer in your guts from farting the way that
You have ass cancer. Thank you. Thank you very much. Is that a thing, Luke?
Ass cancer?
Yes.
There was a joke on South Park years ago, left ass cancer.
Okay.
Anything else on your mind?
No.
You done? Cooked? Finished?
No, I can keep going all day. I just don't have a lot of pep in my step. All right. You know what I did? I poured it out today on the CBS HQ set.
Yeah, you did.
Right, on the morning combat.
What was it? We'll end on here in just a minute. What was it like ending your podcast? Because I ended my radio show recently.
It was weird and bittersweet and fun and weird because technically it's not over. Rafe and I, we worked together in some form of a show in like 4 different outlets for, you know, so long. You know, we'll still do some fun bonus pod and that kind of stuff, but, you know, we're not doing a weekly pod anymore together. And we built this rabid, weird audience, and we had, you know, on the State of Combat, the final boxing episode, we did 3 hours. We had a lot of our favorite people on, and we cracked jokes, and it was great. And it did feel like this weird end of an era, you know? Now you pour something.
Yeah, dude, my last radio show felt like that. It was weird.
Did people call in and just tell you how much they love
Phone lines were packed from the first minute to the last, man. Couldn't get to all of them.
truck drivers who were like, Luke, I built
Yeah, nothing but truck drivers. That's right. That's who my audience was. No, it was it was weird. It was weird letting that go. Most of the things I had to let go were just abject failures, you know. And that certainly, you know, I didn't get a chance to do everything I wanted to do with it. That's true, but it was not a failure. So that was weird letting that go. But you know what? I don't know. I'm like I wouldn't want to be doing anything else right now than this. I know that's true.
One time, Luke, I went to
Well, I wish I could fart louder, but other than that,
in 2004. Luke, I went to the Austin City Limits Music Festival.
yeah, holy shit.
Great festival because unlike Bonnaroo, where you camp there. Now, look, if you're not doing hard drugs anymore, or even psychedelics, or even heavy weed, you really can't camp. It's not fun, right? You kind of need the drugs to let you not.
Yes,
focus
why
on
else would you do that dumb shit?
Exactly. ACL Festival, on the other hand, full on multiple stages, but every night you go back to your hotel room and then you go out in Austin. And I don't know if you've ever been out in the bars in Austin. The
Oh,
scene.
come on, bro. I'm not new to this.
Okay, thank you. The scene is amazing, right?
Austin's bar scene is
And it's like every street.
it's up there with any place in the country.
Every street is angled at like a different age group, right? Like Second Street is like, you know, the 40-year-old, Third Street, or
Yep.
whatever. You get to Sixth Street, they close off the middle of the road, right? There's fights breaking out. There's people drunk everywhere. It's kind of a shit scene, and it's great. And we're wandering around late at night, and we're drunk as shit, me and my 2 friends, and there's this long pizza line, you know, for like up to the window to get your slice. And there's this really large black lady, like really large, okay? And my buddy is drunk as shit, and he's stumbling, and I can see it coming a mile away.
Please don't let the joke here be a racist joke.
It's not racist. He is going to rail into her. Like, he is going to knock her over. I can see, you know, you see your friend like stumbling and not looking, and I'm like, oh no, we're going to have a fight. This lady has a large group of people. This is going to be bad. He falls right into her and almost knocks her over. She gets up and turns around. She's like ready to go. So I leap right in to be peacemaker, right? I don't need a war, right? So I go, hold on, man. I'm so sorry, my friend. You know, he's drunk. Blah, blah, blah. Look, you'd have to understand. She's like, fuck you. I'm like, you got to understand. He's a really great guy. That's Ed. Ed's a great guy. And Ed's like, I'm like, no, Ed's a great guy. He'd never hurt anybody. I go, look at him. He's a nice guy, right? What do you think of him? And she went from like raging, saying the F word. She looked him up and down. She goes, I'd hit that. And I was like, oh my God. Luke, I fell to the street.
How come you didn't marry her?
It was one of those movie moments, okay?
How come you didn't marry this wonderful lady
It was, I mean, her turn.
who was 10,000 pounds?
She turned on a dime. Okay, she was on our team because she wanted to sex him up. TikTok, you don't stop, right?
I wanna thank you. All right, we should call it a day.
When did this become an audio only show?
About 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. I'm not sure. We'll have to go look it up. Let's do this. Can we promise? I don't know if we could do this every time we go on the road, but we can't be shy about it either. This was a hit. What do you think?
Look, when you got that one song, right?
You got to play that bitch.
You got to play twice in the same show.
Are the Room Service Diaries, is that Gangnam Style?
Are you saying if someone goes to see the Asian man in concert, they're not there for anything else but Gangnam?
Oppa Gangnam Style.
What's the man's name?
Psy.
Psy. They're like, Psy, I don't need a Freebird cover, right? Psy, I mean,
Yeah, no one goes to the Psy concert and goes,
Freebird! Like, bro, Psy, can you just play Gangnam like 5 times in a row, right? It reminds me of when I already told you this.
you know what? Let's play that shit. Hang on.
Wampum Gangnam Style.
Oppa Gangnam Style.
Bung, bung, bung. So here's the deal, Luke. I don't know if you know this, but Showtime on October 24th, the same day as Habib, we got a little piece of business called Gervonta Tank Davis versus.
Shit, this video's done fucking 4 billion views.
I mean, it's a great track, right?
Jesus.
How much money do you think Psy made off of this one song?
A fuck ton. Now, how many got taken from him? I don't know.
By Ron Johnson.
I don't want to be racist, but I'll just be like,
Wonk bum Asian people. Yeah. So, Luke, October 24th, will you be there?
Are they going to have us there?
Gervonta Tank Davis. But look at the rousing success of this weekend and let me fail miserably on our face.
Yeah, I'll say tomorrow is the real test. I mean, all this shit has been nice. Don't get me wrong, but
If you and I go there, that's like a month away, correct?
yeah.
I'd be willing to invade your room.
Yeah, we got to do this again if we go. If we do the Tank Davis Leo Santa Cruz fight, which by the way would be great because Khabib would be in the afternoon, which means we could ostensibly do a post-fight show. We have to work that out, and then do the whatever we're going to do for. But there'd be no intermission for that. Oppa Gundam style. I'm told that this song is commentary on the rich elite of Seoul and how out of touch they are, but I don't know.
That was the point of How Bizarre by OMC. Remember that?
Is that right?
Yeah.
How bizarre. Yeah.
You know what OMC stood for, right?
No.
From some town in New Zealand called like Ottoman, so it was called like Ottoman's Millionaires Club. It was like they were poor as shit, and they were trying to pretend that they were elite status. So look, if we do this again, okay, it's a big gift for the people. We appreciate the love. Hopefully, we don't get fired.
We'll do it again. I don't know when because it's actually the most taxing thing we've done all week. But we'll do them again. All right. Any last wishes? We'll just sign off here.
Yeah.
Don't be racist. It's a language, not noises. Oh, he got a lot of BJs.
His follow-up song should just be called Fellatio, right?
Oppa Gangnam Style. It's actually a great ending to this series of
Yeah.
podcasts. All right, for BC.
You know, I was thinking we had a great talk.
End it here.
Hold
End it
on,
here.
real quick. We had a great talk about comedians last show. Mm-hmm. I didn't bring up Brendan Schaub as one of my favorite comedians.
First of all, I've seen him do stand-up in DC at the DC Improv, and he killed. So I don't know what kind of thing you're trying to prove here. All right, we got to get out of here. That's BC. I'm Luke Thomas. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry I turned it into an audio podcast here at the end. We'll fix that for next time. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. But between now and then, thanks for all the support. Thanks for watching. Catch us tomorrow on the MK Intermission. And
Fuck off.
go fuck yourself.